I often picture myself trying to survive in one of the harshest places on Earth, where icy winds slash through the air like sharp blades and the sun disappears for months at a time. To me, that feels nearly impossible. Yet, for one Arctic tribe, this is just their ordinary reality. Researchers have been astonished by how these people manage to flourish in conditions that would leave most of us trembling in surrender. From unbelievable physical adaptations to ancient techniques of survival, their way of life continues to puzzle scientists. The Inuit endure in a land where the air can freeze skin within seconds, where months pass without sunlight, and where the next meal relies on catching enormous sea animals with nothing more than traditional tools. These Arctic dwellers have pushed the boundaries of human capability, leaving experts genuinely perplexed. You've heard the phrase, "You are what you eat," right? If that applied literally to the Inuit, they would practically be made of raw meat and thick blubber. Science tells us their diet should harm them, consisting almost entirely of whale, seal, and fish fat, with hardly any fruits or vegetables. Logically, that much animal fat should clog arteries and lead to heart disease. Instead, the Inuit boast some of the healthiest cardiovascular systems on Earth. Their advantage: a genetic mutation that allows their bodies to process fat in a completely different way. In a sense, evolution handed them a hidden survival code tailored for the Arctic. Think about stepping outside in freezing weather, only to feel your fingers quickly grow numb. For the Inuit, this is everyday life, yet they endure such temperatures with little clothing. They don't just withstand the cold, they thrive in it. Studies reveal that their bodies generate heat differently than most humans. Their metabolism works in overdrive, allowing them to stay warm even when temperatures plummet to deadly lows. On top of that, their body structure, shorter limbs and sturdier builds, helps conserve warmth. It almost seems as if their bodies were designed specifically for the Arctic, sparking questions about how deep these adaptations truly run. You've probably heard the claim that the Inuit have dozens of words for snow. That's just a glimpse into their complex language, Inuktitut. This language doesn't just label the world, it shapes how they perceive it. For instance, while English uses left and right, Inuktitut describes direction in absolutes like north or south. That means an Inuit elder could be blindfolded, spun around, and still point north without hesitation. Scientists don't yet fully grasp how this works, but it's clear that the Inuit share a unique connection with their environment, one that transcends what many believed possible. This raises a question. Are the Inuit living evidence that humans can evolve to dominate any environment, or are they holding on to knowledge that modern science still struggles to explain? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating discoveries. The Inuits' ability to survive is incredible, but they're not the only group to astonish researchers. Another remarkable story comes from the Pacific, where faith and technology collided in ways no one expected. During World War II, some isolated islanders witnessed planes arriving from the skies, unloading supplies of food, clothing, and weapons. To these people, who had no cities, electricity, or modern tools, these metal birds seemed divine. This gave rise to what we now call cargo cults. The Melanesian islanders, stunned by these miracles, began to imitate the American soldiers, building wooden copies of airstrips, towers, and even airplanes. They believed these rituals would summon the cargo again. They marched in patterns, performed mock military drills, and even painted USA on their bodies, treating it as a sacred mark. But when the war ended, the soldiers left, and the cargo vanished. For the islanders, this wasn't just foreigners departing. It felt as though gods had abandoned them. Desperate, they continued their rituals, but no more parachutes ever arrived. What to anthropologists is now a metaphor of blind imitation was, to the islanders, an unshakable reality. The Melanesians weren't alone in leaving the world baffled. Deep in northeast India, the Naga tribe, comprising over 40 subgroups, has a history that unsettles even today. Known as skilled hunters, farmers, and fearsome warriors, they once gained renown for fighting tigers bare-handed. Their craftsmanship in pottery and blacksmithing further enriched their culture. Interestingly, while men held authority, Naga women still enjoyed rights and responsibilities, especially in households. A unique family custom dictated that when the eldest son married, he inherited the family home, while the parents built a new one. Yet, the most shocking element of their past was headhunting. For centuries, taking an enemy's head wasn't just warfare, it was a rite of passage, a measure of honor and prestige. Warriors decorated their bodies with tattoos marking their victories. Though outlawed in modern times, the chilling legacy of this custom lingers in tales and traditions, echoing through the dense jungles they once roamed. Traveling further into Papua New Guinea, the Yali tribe emerged from obscurity when a British explorer risked contact. They live high in the rugged mountains, detached from modernity, their lifestyle rooted in isolation. Similarly, across the seas, the Cuna of Panama are celebrated for vibrant textiles, bold traditions, and unyielding defense of their land. While appearing peaceful, the Cuna fiercely maintain spiritual balance through rituals, including animal sacrifices. To them, these aren't outdated customs, but vital acts that preserve harmony. Outsiders quickly learn that the Cuna tolerate no interference, guarding their autonomy with unwavering resolve. Meanwhile, in the frozen expanse of northeast Russia, the Chukchi have thrived for millennia in Siberia's harsh wilderness. Divided into reindeer herders inland and sea hunters along the coast, they've remained loyal to their ancestral ways. Their homes, urus, reindeer skin tents, stand strong against brutal winds, with central fires that allow families to live lightly dressed even in freezing weather. Despite limited contact with modern civilization, the Chukchi remain deeply tied to their cultural roots. Far away, in Ethiopia and South Sudan, the Surma people resist outside influence with equal determination. Divided into 3 sub-tribes, they live by cattle breeding and agriculture, occasionally clashing with governments. Their traditions of body art, scarification, and clay lip plates, sometimes stretched to astonishing sizes, symbolize beauty and social status. These modifications, though extreme to outsiders, are cherished symbols of pride, identity, and resilience. Their neighbors, the Mercy tribe, share the lip plate custom but are also known for their readiness for conflict. Armed with rifles and AK-47s, they protect their land fiercely. Cattle raiding and violent disputes remain part of their cultural fabric. Visitors enter their land at great risk, for the Mercy are notorious for their aggression. Yet beneath their warrior reputation lies a culture rooted in balance, ancestral respect, and resistance against external influence. Finally, across the seas in the Andaman Islands, the Sentinelese people live in almost total isolation. Unlike other tribes who cautiously interact with outsiders, the Sentinels meet intruders with immediate hostility, using arrows and stones. For thousands of years, they've thrived on hunting, fishing, and gathering, completely rejecting outside contact. Today, strict no-contact laws protect their territory, ensuring they remain undisturbed. Though their culture remains a mystery, one thing is certain: they are determined to live on their own terms, free from outside interference.